Yo! Video games.
I really thought they were going to do an X9. I really thought that was going to happen after 11. Like, 11 did super well for them. Like, hey, X9. I mean, it did super well for Mega Man.
Let's do this. I'm gonna go back to Pioneer because these missions.
Max hit the mines. It's like, ow!
I hit the mines and I was like, nah. I'm gonna do this really fast because we got to show off all the crazy stuff that's in the game, right? And that's just old crazy stuff. Fans have actually added new crazy stuff. I'm gonna load up my level 1S1 character, and yeah.
Mines is trash. Nobody liked mines.
Nobody likes the mines.
No, because there's so many like traps and slow mo.
And the enemies are annoying. You hit them and they fall down. You have to wait for them to get up.
They crumple and then you gotta get out.
You have to sit there and wait.
Yeah, wait for them to like reassemble and then again.
Shit. There's all the new stuff. Protect your identity. No ASL.
Still crazy.
Oh god! Actually, it's fine.
Memorize that shit.
It's actually fine. Doesn't matter anymore.
Still praying for Mega Man Legends 3? Oh god.
Damn it.
What are the chances of that happening, Simmons?
Legends 3?
Zero.
Zero.
Actually,
Damn.
zero.
No. Wow. Legends is that in the void? That sucks.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not like I fucking care about the game, but I mean, still.
Actually, zero.
Jeez. Who remembers that weird demo of that first-person Mega Man game? And it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maverick.
Weird. Maverick. Oh.
Maverick Hunter, I think it was called.
Oh man.
Maverick.
Something, that's what you call a good idea. It sounded good on paper, but then implemented, it was like, oh. You know what? But then again, I'll say the same thing about Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 was actually a good idea. It's just implemented horribly.
PSOGC names. Let's try that. Let's download that. See what it's like.
Who in chat has actually played Mighty Number 9?
Widescreen will actually mess it up. Celia, 11 people. Let's go. All right, now we'll make a room and try to see if we can actually fight things challengingly. Hello.
Yeah, please, I beat it.
Hello. Hello. Wait. Actually, I don't have any. I don't have any of my.
You got nothing.
My all the emote stuff is gone.
All of these people are on their Dreamcast.
Either on their Dreamcast or on the GameCube version or on the PC version.
Okay, so it's a mix.
Yeah. It's a mix. It wasn't like that in the OG days.
No, of course not.
Yeah, we got somebody on DC.
Yeah.
I don't know how to emote. I need a dial-up. What?
Yeah. How does that even work?
He's still on dial-up.
Jeez, help me. You're on dial-up. This person's on GameCube.
How?
ASL right now, everybody, go.
ASL.
Who even has a landline anymore?
Oh man, dial-up.
Who go?
Transcode and
Oh, you're using the weird Pi thing. It's like a Raspberry Pi. I can't remember what the heck it is. It's like, no kidding, something that emulates. Yes. I saw a video on it. Where you don't actually need the broadband adapter. It'll emulate dial-up, and it still works. It's really weird.
So it's pretending it's dial-up, but it's
essentially pretending to be.
It's
like if you had. It's acting like you have broadband, but it's very weird. But it's a way to get Dreamcast actually online. All right.
Definitely an indie project right there.
It's
amazing.
PSO version 2, team name.
Yeah, it's like it's fake being slow. It's like, I'll pretend I'm 56K when you're like, bro, you're going crazy right now.
Okay.
Dream Pie.
Here.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys play a little bit so we can actually play with play everybody else.
We're gonna play with the internets. Yeah, I got confused when he said
what was the other one? Oh, Challenge was the one that went through like really specific missions, and you got those gold weapon rewards out of it. That's right. Yeah, Challenge. That was the new stuff to version 2.
What's that?
The unicorn honey?
It was like a candy character.
Is that a Tokidoki thing or something?
Tokidoki.
Unicorn?
Yeah, to me, like the most novel thing about this whole experience is that we are actually playing it on a Dreamcast, the same exact way we did, when technology was present 20-something years ago, I'm gonna pop in here with a saber, and that's probably about it. What's wrong?
I just know it.
Saber, frame, and mag. That's it.
I was like,
See, I wasn't quite sure if it was her or if just Steve just ripped one
I usually have the same time.
and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Here, enjoy some. Low-level PSO is honestly the best PSO. This game, once you get maxed out in levels, is shockingly not that great. There's really not a lot of stuff to do. In Blue Burst, there's a bit more, but in OG PSO, the best gameplay experience is like 1 to 40.
Well, what do you do once you max out your character?
You just pretty much grind like literally millions of points just to level up more.
Yeah, because you already beaten the boss, like, so it's like, okay, what do I do now? The whole point of games is to like
thank you, D-Rez,
and take them out or something like that.
Like finding things, you're constantly getting something new and equipping something new.
Yeah.
Like literally like the experience we had when we were playing at those low levels, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was great. It was fantastic.
And gone. I think that's the best thing about these type of games is discovering something that you never had before or something like that.
Yeah.
And like getting a rare item that no one else has.
This game does a really good job at that from level like 1 to 60-ish. And then after that, not so much. Like there really isn't an end game. Like in all honesty.
Yeah, yeah. It just keeps going. You know, I kind of feel that way with Destiny. Like there isn't any real finish. Like it's always
They just want you to keep playing forever.
And
And that's the point of engagement now, is that this game actually had like, you know, almost nobody got to 200. Right, level 200 was the maximum, but that's so. Like, I had 1,000 hours on that character you just saw me. I was level 160. 1,000 hours, and it got to me to 160.
Yeah.
So they wanted you to... And was there really any reason to play beyond that? No, your character actually doesn't get that much better, even if you're level 150 to 200.
At that point, it's just bragging rights.
At that point, it's a call for help.
Yeah, the absolute maximum level was 200. Getting a level 100 character in OG PSO also wasn't that bad. You can do it in a couple of days if you knew exactly what to do. But the game scales where if you go from like the beginning of the game, Forest to Ruins, you'll be approximately level 20 by the end of it. And what happens at level 20? You get hard mode.
Oh, damn.
And then you play through it all again with better drops, harder enemies. And then it happens again at level 40, you get very hard mode.
Maybe if they up the difficulty, people like around 150, 160 will actually have a better time.
Yeah, and that was the thing in this old Dreamcast era, right? They only had one hardest difficulty, which was Ultimate.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And you get to Ultimate at level 80, and you're just done. Well, grab that frame. Equip that.
Like Mega Man. Yeah, well, this is a cartoon.
Start though. Yeah. Better. Does online still work in this game? Yes, all these people that you're seeing are playing online with us right now, either on Dreamcasts or crossplay PC version or GameCube. It's incredible. Drop that shit.
What? That was squishy.
The amount of XP it took to get from level 199 to 200 was the amount of XP it took to get from level 1 to 99.
That last level.
That last level takes that
like
much.
the whole experience of version 1.
They wanted you to like to get to level 100 and stop.
Yeah,
that's what they wanted.
They just made it ridiculously hard.
Yeah, I think that's what the point was.
Napa, thank you. No, the servers are not up. The servers for this went down like 20 years ago, but they're fan run now. So fans allow put up server space where people can still play, and with a little bit of effort and a Dreamcast, you can just get online. It was pretty easy.
So if you have a dream, you can make it happen?
If you have a dream, you can make it cast your ability to play online.
Wow. I have a Dreamcast.
I can cast your dream.
Wanna know why? I have a Dreamcast.
So after this chat, we'll fire up some other stuff. We owe Kenny some Power Stone 2. 4-player Power Stone 2. We gotta play some 4-player Virtua Tennis. Steve wanted to play Marvel 2. I'm sure Simmons wants to play CVS 2 as well.
I'll go back to Skies.
More Skies of Arcadia.
I need to get a good save for that game next time we play it. Like a good middle of the game spot.
And we'll play some 4-player out trigger for you all, and you'll see how amazing that is. It's pretty much Sega's version of Unreal Tournament.
Or Sega's GoldenEye.
A little bit, yeah.
It ran better than GoldenEye.
Certainly did. Well, ran like an old Sega arcade game. The Nutsack, get it.
What game was it?
Outrigger.
That shooting game we played. It was like split screen shooting game.
Yeah, I bought those at like a yard sale thing. All those Mega Man toys, the whole set.
Yeah, no, this is
There's a bunch
from
of
the,
dupes too.
Did you realize that this was from?
Yeah, I knew they were from the show, and I was like, cool. Some guy was just selling a bag of them, and he says full set plus a bunch of extras. And I was like, cool.
Like, give it to me.
I bought it like 5-6 years ago. I've never like they've displayed them. They've always been back there. But Ripley likes playing with them.
And these are really good condition. These are nice stuff in here. Like,
Proto Man looks good.
It's hilarious,
It's
man.
the TV show Mega Man toys.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
But they're itty bitty. Look at the flat top on that guy.
Goofy Proto Man was. This is so funny. Hey, Megatwarp, I'm gonna shoot ya. I'm a bad guy, but not really.
I mean, this was your favorite game on the Dreamcast.
Yes, this is my number one. This is the one of the games I played the most, probably one of the most influential games of my life. You know, as much as I would like to say some fighting games are like my favorites, I can't deny like how much PSO. It was my first online game.
Yeah.
You know? And it was the same for like a lot of other people.
I mean, it was really a bookend.
Bring it down.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, man. Soul Calibur 1 and this, to me, bookended like almost a perfect video game console.
Yes, from the beginning to like near the
Because
end.
on our YoVideogames podcast, I forget what episode, like 75 or 100 or whatever. Like, what's your 5 favorite consoles of all time? And I was like, 5th was like Saturn, and I was like, number 1 is Dreamcast.
Okay.
Just I have too many memories associated with it. There was it brought back my love of fighting games like really hard with Soul Calibur, and then it introduced me to online play and gave me one of the best online gaming experiences I ever had.
Yep.
It introduced me to the import scene. It introduced me to rhythm games. Like just super good. Like everything about it was. I don't know. It was like it's still kind of sort of from that 64, 32 era, but like
I'll go back.
everything is just better looking.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That
and
the
60 and clear.
the
and
visual
crisper.
jump over like that N64 32-bit era is
Yeah.
just Jesus, dude. Like Dreamcast games look so much better.
Yeah, and it wasn't expensive. It was cheap.
It was also a poor man's console, which made it great.
You know, like
Everyone had one.
it was cheap, but also advanced.
Grab Resta.
All that. The light that burns half as bright burns. The light that burns brightest burns like
Half as long. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that was the Dreamcast, all right.
Yeah, it's a shame that it flopped because it didn't do poorly in the West. It really didn't.
We were having a good old time over here in America. We were loving the darn. Well, most of us were.
Most of us were. It was in Japan. It did not do
Yeah.
well.
So you got a perk that's just giving you health soons?
No,
No.
that's me tapping the button.
Oh,
Yeah, it's healing potions.
Okay.
Ugh.
Jeez. Oh.
Give you a little bit of glaze for your phone, Kenny.
A little bit.
It was a poor man console. It came out cheap. Like, you have to remember at the time, chat, the Sega Saturn and a lot of these other consoles that came out that were premium consoles, no kidding, were like $300, $400, $500. And that's like in 90s money. For this to come out in 1999 at $199 to be the most pinnacle graphics of any video game system, to be the most capable game system, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, we can actually afford this. It was the reason I was able to buy one. I worked like an entire summer for it. Oh, get the barrier and equip it. There you go.
Yeah, the N64 was $250 when it first came out. PlayStation was $300.
PlayStation was $300. The Saturn was $499 or something like that. $399.
Yeah.
Consoles were not cheap.
Yeah, I remember being kind of shocked. I'm like, wow, that's a good deal.
Chat, most expensive console, go!
Neo Geo. It's like $1,000.
$1,000.
In early '89, like
Yeah.
early '90s.
It was like mid 90s, 1994ish, 1995 money.
Yeah.
That
What did it have, a CD? Or
No, it played literal arcade boards.
Oh, you could, wait, you could put the
The games were like that size.
Oh my god.
Yes, the games
You've
were.
never seen a Neo Geo?
An old Neo Geo literally played like arcade boards.
yeah.
Jesus.
The games were huge. They came in those. Remember that? You remember you've seen them. Those giant boxes that were like Genesis old VHS boxes that were huge for old Samurai Showdown and
Yeah.
and that was Neo Geo games. They were massive.
What the fuck?
The games were expensive and the console cost $1,000.
Oh my god.
But you literally had arcade games at home.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah, well,
just.
I mean, if you had the board,
They were like
good.
the same thing as the arcade game practically.
3DO a second.
Yeah, that was
$800.
That was 800. But
Jeez.
Neo Geo was more. And Neo Geo games were 200, 300 apiece.
Yeah.
A game. Oh my. Well, wait.
Just
so,
because you're buying like a whole arcade.
right.
board,
Yeah.
pretty
So
much.
that was Neo Geo. The 3DO over the games on that.
Yeah, 3DO was like 50,
It was
60,
like
Yeah.
50 bucks. 'cause they were
50 to
discs.
$80 because at the time, remember, games could be anywhere between that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny though, because like the whole reason of going to disc was because of how much cheaper optical media was, but they still charged you 50,
They still charged you more.
60. They were running like, oh my god, we're going to make so much profit by just keeping the prices arbitrarily high on CDs.
Yeah.
What justifies a $70 tag on a game?
Dude.
Is it the amount of people that work on it? Is it the hardware?
How much money they want? How popular the game's
Are
gonna
you
be?
talking about like now?
No, even back then. Because
Well, no, back then especially because that's the average price of games was $75.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that justified it was that like it was a rare thing.
Also, was the game good and they knew they were going to make money? That was a big part of it. Where it's like, oh, it's a high quality game. Yeah, this is going to be a good game that'll sell a lot. We're going to charge a lot for it.
Well, I mean, that could be said about like Final Fantasy, but they didn't really do that. Final Fantasy still wasn't like $70.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
how much is
Final
Chrono
Fantasy was
Trigger?
like $100.
Oh, that was like
if
a
you were
double
lucky.
CD thing or whatever.
How much did
right?
No.
Cartridges.
Like Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 3. How much did Chrono Trigger cost when it came out? It was
$80
$79.99. Killer Instinct was $79.99 when it came out brand
Oh
new.
man, I don't remember any of that.
That's how much I paid for
I
it.
definitely wasn't the one buying those. I was renting those.
Games that were like arcade games that were close to arcade experiences, Street Fighter games, were like $65, $70.
What the heck?
Games were not $50.
Street Fighter 2 was like $80, $85 when it first came out.
Yeah, and if a game was
I
really
adjusted
popular, it was like
was-
$85.
Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior, was adjusted for inflation. It was like $125 or $135.
No wonder I was so big on
something like
renting.
that.
Go back. That's back to the other one.
Because you get like a $70 or
Let's
$80
go over there,
game,
around to the left.
and then you go to like Blockbuster and you rent it for like $5.
Sure,
And
but
you're like,
that's why they did that.
Yeah, like why would I buy
Because
your game?
the rental market was so big
Yeah.
that they wanted rental places to buy 50 copies of games that cost $90 each.
Well, I heard the opposite. I heard that they hated rental places.
Well,
like
that's
that.
well. I'm not saying that was that wasn't the thing they liked.
Yeah.
They had to
They
make the games
adjusted.
expensive because of it.
Yeah, they adjusted to it.
So all these things pretty much contributed to the fact that games were expensive as holy hell, like SNES games and everything.
Also, with Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, they weren't making very many of them. So to turn any sort of profit, you had to upcharge it because it's like it's going to be hard to sell a couple thousand of this.
Yeah.
So we got to maximize how much we can get by just charging as much as we can.
It really wasn't until like the late 90s, I'd say, when things started getting a bit more standardized. Like Dreamcast games were the most expensive they got was $49.99. I remember that. And even on PlayStation, it was kind of the same.
Yeah.
Where by like the late 90s started happening, PlayStation games usually never eclipsed $49.99. Maybe $54.99 for some things. And so the same thing kind of happened to Saturn games. Those cartridge games, however, whoa, buddy. Like
You were pushing
Genesis games and SNES games and the games alike were really expensive.
You can't be pushing so many buttons.
It feels like
Okay.
Cartridges were more expensive.
They were.
Yeah, it feels like
you
just
say Coco Melon?
They are. They still are.
You say Coco Melon?
you're paying for the box art, you're paying for the material to make
You
the
have
cartridge.
to. Okay, so there's a whole bit of video game history here. Is that one of the reasons PlayStation was successful was because Nintendo had a draconian style lock on cartridges. If you wanted to make a game on Nintendo, they were the sole manufacturer
Of the cartridge.
of the cartridge.
That was a monopoly.
So what would happen is, say you wanted, I want to make, whatever, like just say you have your game, whatever, like Cyber Run, whatever it is, right? You want to order 100,000 copies. You have to pay Nintendo this amount of money for them to manufacture this many, units of this cartridge to sell, and they get royalties off of it.
They're pulling a McDonald's.
Yeah. Well,
they were in control of the market, and they were making sure the market stayed in control.
So with all that beef between them and Sega was still paying them to make cartridges for Sega.
No. Sega had their own thing because they had their own versions of cartridges that had their own design.
Right.
Okay.
And they would usually have smaller licensing fees.
Okay.
Which is why it was, and that's because Sega was behind Nintendo at the time for a bit. Genesis was definitely getting close and doing better.
Yeah.
They had to do that because they were not number one. Right, they were number 2.
Yeah.
So they made it as easy as possible to make games on your system, so that people can port it. You'll make more money if you sell more copies of your game on our system.
So then, why would anybody even go to Nintendo if they could just go to Sega? And
Biggest user base.
Yeah.
More people have
more
Nintendos.
people. Yeah.
More chances to sell more copies of games.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what happens when you have the biggest platform? You're pretty much beholden to them. It's the Amazon problem. It's the Apple problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like those issues just started. They've been around in a huge variety of industry. It's just capitalism 101. They just scoop in and then.
No, that's the thing too. It's like I'm not. That's why I can never be like a corporate fanboy.
Yes.
For something like Nintendo, there were a bunch of fucking corporate thugs back in the day.
I mean, that's what they do. That's literally this business 101. And what is it? Not price gouging, but price hiking, where two companies that have a monopoly on a said product, they go in cahoots and they raise the price together, and they slowly up the price, and no one else can buy that product.
You can't do anything about it because they pretty much bought out the competition.
Yeah, they're the only two actually selling the product. So,
and it's what happened to insulin.
They tried to make renting games illegal in the United States of America.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They didn't like it.
Nintendo tried to make game genies illegal.
Yeah,
in the United States of America, they were thugs. They were jerks about it. Like they wanted you to only enjoy the game how they told you to, and at what price they told you had to pay.
And I'm not a corporate shill, but I can understand from their standpoint, they're breaking the game. It's a product that breaks our game.
Right. But you still need the game to break it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like
it's technically selling more copies of games.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, God bless the game Genie, because a lot of those games were practically unplayable, and the game Genie made them playable.
Unbeatable.
Sony thugs. Oh, absolutely, Sony are thugs too. The moral of the story is not like Sony good, Nintendo bad. The moral of the story is any giant multi-billion-dollar corporation is not there, to have your back. They're there to make money.
Is there any honest gaming company?
No.
What about
unless they're indie,
I was gonna say the Ouya. Maybe they're honest.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh Ouya. Oh no.
Don't get hit again.
Dang.
Bro, there was nothing that could be done. They don't have any skate dolls.
The moons. The people have moons.
Do you have any moon atomizers?
I remember that was
I picked up one. Anyone else got a moon atomizer?
Save him!
Yeah!
Teamwork!
Alright.
Damn, that bitch just knocked the weapon out of your hand?
I think he did.
Yeah, you ain't got
I died. Well, it's Dreamcast.
Oh, that's right! This is the version of the game. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Someone stole my double saber.
I don't believe it that I forgot about that of the Dreamcast version. Chat, when you died in the Dreamcast version of this game, one or two, because we're playing version 2, you no kidding would lose the weapon that's in your hand, and it would fall on the floor along with all of your money. So what would happen? You'd be playing with randos.
Oh, they're taking it,
and they would not revive you. They would grab your item and log out. That happened all the time. People would yoink your stuff and then peace out. Wow, I've completely forgot about that.
Someone stole my double saber way back on the last boss. I was so mad.
That is so toxic.
Well, they designed it that way. Like, they probably knew what was going to happen.
I know.
Why
think
did
it's,
you design it like that?
And Matt's on Max got all his items.
He ain't tell nobody.
Stole it.
And he's like, oh, look at these low-level players, level 50. It's like, they didn't even have the real swords. I got the good stuff. Can you imagine that? This dude just dies and you're
I
like,
think it's through that game.
Right? Yeah, that's kind of
They log out. They have to save before they log
There it
out
is.
and stuff. That's so funny. They keep your stuff.
Don't touch them.
But it's not like Dead Island, where we figured out how to hack the game by duplicating the stuff.
Oh.
So it wasn't about, oh, you dropped your stuff, now I'm going to take it and take off.
So-
people were just giving out stuff that they had like a giant inventory.
So I'm gonna demonstrate the old Duke method of PSO.
Oh, there's a Doom method?
Your character and your character's data are saved to these.
Yeah.
So all your items are essentially saved to save states that happen inside this, right? So here's what happens. I log in. My character's on here. I log in with my character and I open up a lobby with a friend.
Yeah.
Like you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
In that lobby, just not even fighting, I'll take the best weapon I got and drop it on the floor. And then when I log out, you hit quit, and right before it saves, pull this.
Yeah.
So that you come back, your friend's still in the lobby with the item on the floor, you log back in, you put your memory card back in,
And you still have your...
and you still have your item on your character, and the item's still on the floor.
Yeah.
So that was the old dupe method.
You had to have somebody in the lobby.
You had to have a friend back you up.
Yeah.
So that was the classic dupe method. The problem was is that if you mistimed this,
Oh.
whole character's gone.
The character's gone.
Whole character, your save data is gone.
Oh, rip.
If you mistime that, and this timing was like half a second.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
like very specific.
Yeah.
So if you miss the timing, I lost my first character that way.
Oh my god. Max out here cheating.
I was.
Who
I had no perspective.
We're in the lobby with Simmons.
I mean, we definitely Simmons was in several of those lobbies.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of our friends did it because cool.
Yeah, you get
we
free-
found something that you can do.
Same thing.
you wanna take it out?
Same thing in Dead Island. You would duplicate stuff and you would log out before you saved your file.
Yeah.
So that you would be able to handle that. Problem was is that since it wasn't the inventory wasn't meant to have all of the items in there, people would have their inventory filled with like swords and guns and stuff
Yes.
like that, so they could sell it later. So, but the problem is that the inventory wasn't built to handle that much stuff. So people who had too many guns and too many swords in their inventory would freeze the game. It would freeze the game and it would lock them out of their character. So people were losing characters because they had too much stuff in their inventory.
Oh, weird.
So the company knew about this and they didn't change anything because they wanted the
Thank
people
you.
who were actually duplicating guns and weapons to suffer. They wanted them to lose their characters, so they never fixed it. So the people who were duplicating had to make sure that they never filled their inventory, and it was something else because it was it was a good time. Like everyone was just generous with their stuff. Like yeah, sure, just throw some stuff. I got this cool little chainsaw.
I mean, and we even got that when we were playing PSO with a bunch of peeps on the private server. A bunch of guys dropped us a bunch of items. and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I still remember the dude that like I was playing with you guys and I was like the lowest level and he went on stream and actually like
Gave you a buff mag and all this kind of stuff so you can catch up with
I
us.
was super grateful for that.
Or Slim.
For start.
That was
Area map.
what's his face from SNK.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
Lost.
Lost. Oh no, they activated the transporter. Oh god.
Yeah. That was our homie from SNK.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Man, when you're level 160, would you just one swipe this guy?
I did that earlier.
Menthol, how did you do gear in Dead Island 1? Because I definitely
That's right. Thank you.
gear in Dead Island 1 doing that.
Oh, that was a marker.
Didn't they finally re-announce part 2 again?
Part 3 actually. Oh no, it's part 2. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Because
Back to
Riptide felt like part 2, but it's actually still part 1, which is hilarious. And yes, they actually announced part 2, which is the most amazing thing ever. But we haven't really seen too much of what's going on in the story. Just a lot of videos and stuff. like 2 trailers. 1 CGI trailer, 1 in-game trailer, and it looks fun. Super gory. Yeah, Dead Island 2 is real again, Chad. It's a real boy. They actually did it.
Does anyone care at this point? It's been
I
so
do.
long.
I know, it's been a long time, and yes, I do.
I know.
I do.
Yeah, but you got State of Decay though.
State of Decay. Yeah, I didn't actually. Part 2 was. I love State of Decay 1. Part 2 was a. Oh man, you better heal, bro. Ooh. Yeah, State of Decay 1 was so much fun, and State of Decay 2 was a colossal disappointment. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen to Dead Island.
Hi, sweetheart. Thank
3
you.
State of Decays though.
No.
Come up here.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Well, what's in my mouth?
We'll see what happens.
Here.
Open up your mouth.
Keep my hopes up for it.
I care, damn it. It's real to me, damn it.
I know they're making another one. The next one's on Unreal 5.
What?
State of Decay.
Oh no. After last one, I'm no way. I'm not touching that thing.
She's gonna get protein farts.
Protein farts.
No, that went right for me! Ah!
Nesquik says, how do I play this on PC?
There's several guides. What is it, Sylvania? What are we playing it through, chat?
Open up your mouth.
It's chocolate. It's chocolate.
It's fine. It's not a lot.
Did they make it better, King, to beat? I gave up. When it first came out, man, I gave up. I played it for as long as I could, and I just couldn't take it. Now, there's a lot of people that say Dying Light is better than Dead Island, but to me, Dying Light is just parkour version. It's like parkour version than
Cocoa melon.
Dead Island.
Is that
So
good?
I prefer Dead Island just because of what I was able to do in the game.
Oh god, someone's dead.
Oh, moon him. Also, don't get under the dragon when it falls.
I should just
You should be able to do it from
first.
here. Do it.
You gotta heal
Use
first,
it.
man.
Use.
Do you have any more heals?
Nope.
Oh, no.
In trouble.
A little bit. It's a tough boss.
Hey!
I recovered a save, R3.
Saber 3. Nice. Well, mine.
Yay! Drop the star at him.
Advisor.
Well, there you go, chat. There is Phantasy Star Online in 2022, actually playable on a Dreamcast.
Yay!
Online. Crazy. That's still crazy to me. Ripley, you just keep...
Oh, can I have some?